definitely power-packed with a lot of value. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to jump out. We're going to walk through a hypothetical scenario, something we'll look at called simply a new way to do business. And it's an example that's going to incorporate many of the different technology pieces that are at play here. We're going to be looking at Microsoft Dynamics CRM as a focal point to this, but we are also going to bridge into Dynamics GP 2010 and see how these two systems integrate together. It will also give us an opportunity to take a look at the application as we move through this process. If you're not already familiar with it, this is Dynamics CRM. If you notice, it can be CRM online, so it can run in the cloud so that you don't have to worry about putting the infrastructure in place to be able to support it. But even though it is in the cloud and being hosted remotely, it can integrate into your back-end application and data set. And one of the things we're noticing is that we're logged in as a user. I'm the CRM administrator. I'm logged into my workspace, and I see that I have an automated alert that has been set up within CRM to let me know that there's a high rate of returns on a particular product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill into this, and it's going to give me a product number, and it's giving me a description, and it's going to show me what my month-to-date and year-to-date returns are, and I can see that I definitely have a significant spike going on. So taking a little bit further action, I may want to drill out here, go into my product catalog, be able to look at my inventory list directly synchronized through Dynamics CRM, be able to draw down on just simply returned products and focus in on that satellite speaker, and I can see what the inventory situation is with this particular item. So this is a great example of how remote users in remote locations, if they're web-based on CRM, can get a lot of access to the database without having to have a license directly into Dynamics GP 2010. That could be done through inventory, order processing, customer service, you name it. So back in Dynamics GP, I'm looking at our refreshed homepage. Many of you have the homepage experience in GP 9, GP 10. As you can see, this is much richer in terms of the delivery of information. The regions on the screen, although maybe very familiar to you, are now being populated with SRS reports. So instead of having just those couple of metrics that we can pull through that Microsoft had determined you should see, it's now allowing you to define and custom design your own reports that you're able to bring right into here. And by looking at this return situation, it actually has drilled down right from this into Excel. And these Excel reports, as we looked before, there's probably 20 or 25 different out-of-the-box OLAP analysis reports that are built in, returns being one of them, dovetailing that information side by side with our CRM. I'm going to take a look down and see who by vendor is giving me the greatest level of returns. And notice from here I'm able to drill directly into the Dynamics GP vendor maintenance. So whether it's just a simple Excel report, it supports drill down and drill back now right into the application. What I'm also able to do by highlighting this field, I can send this vendor an instant message. I can see if they're online. I can send an email message directly through the application. I can even start a video conference call with any vendor. So here's a hypothetical scenario. I'm going to type out the fact that we're having an issue, and I am now going to come up here, click, and share my desktop with my vendor. I'm able to drill in, give them a sense of what's going on relative to the report, and we can see we have an escalation in defective materials. So they're going to suggest I buy another item, just walking through this hypothetical situation. And right from this screen, the real key here is that I'm able to integrate this and create a purchase order right on the fly. So through my messaging, I'm able to call back into Dynamics GP. Through Excel, I'm able to drill down right into Dynamics GP. And I'm going to just go through the process of entering a purchase order for this merchandise. Now, another feature that's built in is the concept of workflow. Notice this open tab here that's presented on the side of a standard purchase order form. And I'm going to add some comments saying that I'm looking for approval. So what we've done is we've defined an approval workflow. that any purchase order that's created by a user needs to be approved. Now, you can do this when it's over a particular value, and there are existing workflows. There were 12 in all, and 3 of them are brand new workflows using Microsoft SharePoint. So what I'm going to do now is jump out of this and go directly into Microsoft Office, where that purchase order request was now sent to my purchasing manager. So as an end user, I'm able to enter that PO, submit a request. This could be true if it was an accounts payable voucher, a check that needed to be cut, a quote that needed to be approved, etc. And whether they're on a PDA or working through Microsoft Outlook, they're able to see that there's an approval request that is required in a particular value to a particular supplier. They could even drill down into that purchase order itself and see the details, line item by line item, of what's on that purchase order. The manager then can come over here, click Approve, and process this approval. I jump back into Dynamics GP, pull up this order, and I could now see that this purchase order is in fact approved, who approved it, and when it was approved. And this approval workflow stays with it. Again, not just limited to purchase order as detailed in this particular scenario, but across all modules as well. I'm then able to generate an email of the physical purchase order that is now going to be sent to my vendor directly through the application, and that, of course, was generated through my Word email form document. So what we've done through this scenario is created a workflow that started through customer service, perhaps working in CRM. We saw the ability to view data based upon information through CRM and or GP via Excel. I was able to drill down into the application itself, communicate with my vendor directly through the application, seek an approval for a purchase order, and communicate that purchase order through email directly to my vendor. Up on SharePoint, which is built into the Advanced Management version, and we're going to talk a lot about SharePoint and how to deliver this kind of information to managers without necessarily purchasing GP user licenses to make that happen. We'll discuss that a bit further down the road here today. But all of these dashboards are pre-built. Again, there's a series of KPIs that you can choose from. One of the things that we may want to look at perhaps here is to look at gross profit information, drilling down into that gross profit information, pulling up a detailed gross profit report that is delivered through SRS. This SRS report can be run through the Windows browser, I should say, and could be automatically subscribed and pushed out to particular recipients on a timed event basis. So this is true whether it's standard audit reports such as a GP report or even financial statements through the management reporter. So some very exciting ways of being able to move through the application, being able to deliver personalized information and communicate that information, in effect, what they've determined to be a new way to do some business here. So I'm going to just leave this in a position